Welcome everyone to yet another demo on which we are going to talk about the Docker cluster. Now, if we talk about the Docker Swarm, so Docker Swarm is an orchestration tool which is available there, using which we will be able to have installation and we can perform some particular service deployments and a lot of stuff we can do. If we don't want to go for a standalone continuous deployment, we can definitely go for the Docker Swarm. Now, the prerequisite for the Docker Swarm is the Docker to be installed. So we got the Docker installed into our server. So I have one server as a manager node and one server as a worker node. So manager will act as a master and worker node will act as a slave. So you can perform the installation of Docker, and once the installation of Docker is done, then pretty much you can see that how we can go for the initialization of the Docker Swarm here. So what I'm going to do over here is that I'm going to interact, or I'm going to see that how the connectivity happens. So what I'm going to do over here is that I'm going to interact, or I'm going to see that how the connectivity happens. So I got a Docker version, so I got the Docker installed into my machine. So what I need to do is that I can run the command called Docker swarm init. Now when I do the init like this, what happens that it will be initialized with a private IP address. It will automatically pick up the private IP address and do that. But you also have a parameter called _advertise address, which you can do it, so you can change the custom name or the custom IP address. You can always do that. So now this is the cluster IP. So this is the private IP of my machine. So this is where my Docker Swarm is initialized. So I have got this Docker Swarm command, so which I need to run. Now this is required in order to have the setup in such a way that I need to add a worker node. So you can see here also it says that if you want to add a worker node, then you want to do this. But if I see a Docker node ls now, so there will be a manager node which will be available over here, and you can see the star symbol. So it's a leader. In order to do this activity, or in order to have a new node, so what I need to do is that I have to go to the particular other servers where I will be able to do, or I will be able to have this worker node as an added over there. So here also I will see the if the Docker is installed or it's up and running properly, and then I can put up the docker join command, which is available there in my other machine. So this is the master machine, so I can copy this statement over here. So this is the Docker swarm command, which is helping me to connect, or which is helping me to have a worker node added up into the swarm cluster. So you can see it says that the node joined as a worker over there. So now if I am going to run the command, or if I'm going to see that what are the different nodes which is available, so it's going to show me the two nodes over here. So 99 is the current server. If you see that the IP address having 99 in the end is the current server, and that's where I'm connected right now, and it's a leader, it's a manager, and the other server is known as the particular machine, or the slave machine over there. Right. So you can also check the information. So you can run like docker info to get all the information about this current machine. So you will have all the details, like what is the name, or what is the username, what is the operating system, what is the runtime. Everything is mentioned over here in this one. So this is showing you the status also, and if you do like node docker node ls, then also then you will be able to see that if the node is up and running, accessible or not. So this is way that how you will be able to set up like minimum 2 server based Docker Swarm cluster. Now what you can do is that you can actually go ahead and say that we want to start a service, because ultimately the whole idea about having a Docker Swarm is to have a service deployed, to have the Docker containers deployed as a service. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to see that what are the different services available there. So right now there is no service available, so I'm going to create a new one. So docker service create, that's a command which is available, and I want to create a web server one. So that's the reason why I'm giving the name as web server, and port I want to give it like 80 port mapped with 80 on the Docker container, and the HTTPD is the Docker image which I want to refer or want to use over here. Now the moment I do this, what will happen that it will deploy my service. it will take some time because the image should be present. If image is present, then it will be faster. Otherwise it will take some time depending on the size of the image to download it from the Docker Hub. So the service is converged, so you can validate it with the help of Docker service ls whether the replication is proper or not. If there is like it doesn't show you like 1 by 1, or it shows you 0 by 1, so it means that there is some issues present over there. But as in this particular situation, you can see that it's working perfectly fine, and it's working without any issues as such over here, right? So all you can do over here is that if you feel that this is something which is working fine, and you are pretty much working over here without any issues, so what exactly you can do over here is that you can see that if you are able to connect to the application or not. So in order to check the application, so you can say like docker service ps web servers, so or whatever the name of the service you use. So you can see that web server.1, it's the server, and you can see the node also. Remember, it's running on the on the current node. In case the current node is down, so definitely the worker node will be acted as a leader if it is leader eligible. So in that case, this container will be moved on to that server and it will be available over there. The whole idea about having a service is that even if your container goes down on one server, it gets replicated on the other server, so you will never see a downtime over there. Now I can use the curl localhost, and I can actually hit on this particular service which I am deployed. So I can say that okay, it works. As per the response, it says that it works, so which means that I'm able to pretty much connect on this one without any problems or without any issues as such. So this is the fundamental reason. So you can also do like curl 172.31.75.99. so you can hit on this one and you will get a proper response over there that how exactly it works, right? And in case if you feel that you want to connect it like to the other server, and you want to reach out using that IP address, so that also something you can do it. So the application will be accessible from both the cases, whether you are connecting through a particular IP address of a manager node, or it will be onto the worker node. So the using the service concept, you can actually come or access the application from any IP. Right now this container is running on the manager node, right? But still, if you the second curl command which I have executed, that's something which is using the worker node, the second server IP address. So you can see that the service is replicated in such a way that whatever IP address you use, the application is always going to be up and running. So that's a very good point, because all these servers you can add it up like in front of the load balancers, and you know, even if one or two servers are going down, the service is going to be replicated on the other servers, and you will always see the uptime into your applications. So this Docker Swarm or this orchestration tool really helps you in both the cases, like having the load sharing, because I can scale this container to 2, 3, 4 or whatever the scalability I want to have. I can do that. At the same time, I don't have to change the URLs, because my URL will remain the same. I'll still be able to access that in that particular part. So these are some of the features, some of the benefits which we get when we look forward for an implementation of Docker Swarm here. So that's it for this demo. I guess you liked it. Thanks.